This is the most important thing you should know about Morgan Freeman. The individual hates being given political opinions based solely on his skin color. He's not your spokesperson, therapist, and sociology professor all at once. He's Morgan Freeman. However, it seems that someone neglected to mention the perspective. After inviting him to join the panel, they degraded his dignity in the manner of a hit and run on television. They just gave him 5 minutes to start. 5 minutes. That's shorter than the time required to put a frozen lasagna in the microwave. Then they attempted to suck him into the murky waters of politics rather than his brand new documentary. It was really like asking Shakespeare to ghostwrite your tweets after you invited him to your house. Don't believe me though. Let's play the video, pay close attention, and be ready to laugh. As far as I can recall, the Earth has seen 6 extinction-level events since the beginning of existence. 6 times as many parts of life, not human life, are. We're talking about life being destroyed and lost. We are on our way to another one. According to scientists, there will be a calamitous event that will wipe many of us off the face of the planet if we don't act quickly and change our ways. When it comes to Morgan Freeman, The View is truly playing with fire. And let's face it, Morgan Freeman is hardly the person you want to walk a tightrope with. This man can describe the sound of penguins waddling across Antarctica, like a Shakespearean play's climax. However, he is merely attempting to promote his documentary, Life on Our Planet, and here they are prodding the bear. Of course, it's simple to take that documentary and the one about Black history they later discussed into political area. Race relations and environmentalism are essentially the main roads to contentious discussions. However, let's temporarily halt the dire hyperbole surrounding climate change. That sort of apocalypse, this whole extinction level type stuff, occurs once per 10 million years. Yes, the dinosaurs had things rough, but your Prius won't be the reason for the next meteor shower. Anthropogenic climate change, if you want to brag at parties, has only been a problem for roughly 200 years. Therefore, it is true that the environment is changing and that it merits careful consideration. However, it was almost like the panel was selling tickets to the end of the world. According to even the most dire forecasts, we will warm by 2 to 4 degrees Celsius. That's not insignificant. It's very seriously. However, it doesn't say, get your things together. The asteroid is on its way. The larger problem is that contemporary environmentalism occasionally veers into this peculiar anti-human, anti-growth mentality. As though, in a Marvel film, mankind itself is the antagonist. You can't help but notice that vibe slipping in while you're looking at the View panel. Guilt tripping was offered alongside doomsday prophecies. That's because life is persistent. We're not talking about people here, life. We are discussing the planet. Yes. Yes. She will remain. Yes. Well, if we just ignore it, it's persistent. Don't bother. And the reason for all the issues is the human scam, which interrupts all of it. I'm hoping there's still time. Do you see what I mean? Humans are automatically portrayed as the malevolent antagonist with the mustache, the moment the planet and its surroundings become the primary focus of the narrative. Joy Behar took that precise argument directly from the environmentalist playbook of the far left. And Morgan Freeman's soul sigh was almost visible. He didn't want to take that detour, and he certainly didn't sign up for that interpretation of his documentary. The thing is this. Currently, more than 99% of all species that have ever existed on Earth have gone extinct. Trilobites, huge sloths, dinosaurs, you name it, they're gone. Like a cosmic game of whack-a-mole, life comes and goes. However, the planet itself is more resilient than a stale bagel. It has withstood meteors, ice ages, and whatever fashion decisions we produced in the 1980s. You see, I'm not even making this up. In fact, a brand new fringe organization has emerged online that calls for the voluntary extermination of humanity in order to preserve the environment. Yes. To give the Earth some alone time, it seems that the solution is for all of us to kindly leave stage left. Saying, "It's not you," is the environmental equivalent of ending a relationship. It practically affects every person on the planet. This is the result of pushing a good, vital notion that cares about the environment. It crumbles under its own weight thus far. It's obvious that Morgan Freeman opposes that extreme. To be honest, it's the same here. I'm all for preserving the planet, but I'd rather live to see it through. I would want to inquire about another documentary. Proceed. You're ensuring that important aspects of our history, such as the documentary 761st, which you executive produced, are not forgotten as some politicians across the nation want to whitewash black history. Was I correct? Yes. Tank 761st. The first black battalion to serve in World War II was the original Black Panthers. The first battalion in black armor. Indeed. The uneasy tension in that panel is nearly palpable. Like, everyone knew all of a sudden that Morgan Freeman had just kindly corrected them. Furthermore, nobody wished to establish eye contact first. Come on, in his pinky finger, the man exudes more gravity than the entire studio. And what were they doing? He was given 5 minutes. 5. Morgan hardly has time for that. Freeman to even complete a phrase, much less analyze a documentary. To be honest, it felt more like a fast date with Morgan Freeman than an interview, except that instead of romance, you get unsolicited political framing. The worst part is still to come. Though it sounds more like a diet soda, Sunny Hostin, not Otten, went and executed the same move as Joy Behar had before. The same move, but a different documentary, this time about his Black history film. They attempted to use Freeman as the grudging spokesperson for any social message they were making an effort to push. And you could see him resisting hard but respectfully. It's like giving Gordon Ramsay a microwave burrito after inviting him to cook. That's not what you do. The entire situation merely demonstrates how gravely they miscalculated. Their story is not necessary for Morgan Freeman. The story is about him. Additionally, you begin in your 40s and advance. Furthermore, how often did I see black individuals in the films? What were they doing, assuming I saw them at all? They were servants, indeed. Servants. They were constantly, I know it's terrible. I tell you the name. Even though Bette Davis is fantastic, her films are especially worth seeing if you enjoy vintage cinema. She is not to blame. It is distressing to observe. Be honest with you. Well, since someone did make money, it shouldn't be that way. Yes. And there it was, Now is the moment. It's very easy. If someone has already made the decision not to play the victim role, you cannot make them feel that way. And that's exactly what it is. Morgan Freeman is exactly what I adore about him. The man exudes a calm assurance that comes from not carrying burdens that are not his own. Go back and watch that old 60-minute interview if you don't think I'm telling the truth, or if you think I'm exaggerating. With only some cool common sense and a voice that might persuade you to refinance your mortgage, it's nearly a lesson in how to silence the victim narrative. What steps will we take to eradicate racism on Don't Discuss It Anymore? I will never longer refer to you as a white person. Man. Yes. Additionally, please refrain from referring to me as a black man. Not a single person on that panel can actually disagree with him. How were they able to? At all, the man has lived. He is 84 years old and was born in 1937. Over the years, he has witnessed the arc of American culture change. It is impossible to verify the accuracy of that type of living history using Google. Everything he says has such weight since it's ingrained in his viewpoint. He's correct, too. Civilization is constantly changing, and art is a reflection of that civilization. What seems revolutionary today might seem archaic tomorrow, and that's part of its allure. It is disrespectful to the artists who pioneered the field and short-sighted to bring the past into the courtroom of contemporary morality. Using today's hashtags to rewrite history is not a way to honor it. And I'd wager a healthy sum. That is also not what Morgan Freeman wants for himself. He would prefer to be remembered in the context of his time rather than as some unfortunate person who filtered through history, which is what history will do. The indignation of tomorrow.